Well, in a bittersweet moment, we're in Terrace, number 7, in the Metis Dialogue regional discussions and sessions, and so much has changed since we began this tour. Your thoughts, Daryl?
Well, I'm glad it's coming to an end here, but at the same time, it was so nice to go and actually meet with the grassroots Métis people and educate them, and the word has gotten out, and people do care, and it's going to be nice to kind of take a break from this and spend some time with my family. But I'm happy, very happy, and I don't think this is going to be any different than all of our other meetings. Yeah, and and for us, at this, we volunteered our time from day one. It's been weekend after weekend, basically the last 2 months. So for me, I think it's great. It is the last session, and what was going to flow out of this is that we presented everyone the same document. We went into the blueprint strategy, and really what we've actually got now is a semblance of a real plan so that at the MNGA in February, the community leaders can have a document in front of them that we are going to give to them using our governance to say, listen, people have clearly said this is where we need to go as a nation, and I feel very comfortable and confident. There's a lot of support for what we're doing right now, and it feels really good actually. So
hi, and when it comes really right down to it, going to these community sessions and stuff, it all comes down to respect. And I think we've shown that to the communities, and we're really listening to them, and we've given them a place to go in a future. And like my mother raised me to believe in people, and that's what I think with my heart and my soul, and my culture is there 100%. So God bless you all, and on behalf of Little Man and myself, I'm so glad we had this time together.
I keep waiting in this lonely room, just in case you change your mind. You'll find me waiting here in apartment number 9. Loneliness surrounds me without your arms around me. And the sun will never shine in apartment number 9.
I would like to thank Daryl Piper, Michael Morgan, and of course our culture ambassador there, Beverly Lambert. These individuals have traveled all 7 regions on their own time. And most of you are probably asking, why are they doing it? Well, it's quite simple. These individuals are proud to be Métis. And all they're looking for is to make sure that the elected officials are accountable. and I don't think that's asking too much. It is not personal, it's business. CCMC feels that the direction that MNBC is heading, our future is pretty grim. Is it a cause for alarm? Well, it's up to you to decide after this presentation. There's a quote that comes to mind, and everybody knows it and heard it many times, and I have to be reminded also. It's not what our nation could do for us, but what can we do for our nation? So Keith, again, welcome.
Thank you, and thanks Beverly, and thank you all for being here today. Daryl introduced himself, but we'll go through just the presentation part. Typically takes an hour, depending on questions, and what we would kindly ask is that as we go through the presentation, unless it's a question that's burning at you right at that moment, we'd like to finish the presentation first and then do the question and answers, because we think that a lot of the questions get answered when we get to the end. But I mean, of course, we don't stop you from asking questions. Those that I've met many of you over the years. I'm obviously introduced as Keith Henry. I'm a Metis person, born in Thompson, Manitoba, raised in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan. I have been involved in the Metis Nation all my life, quite frankly. And I'm currently a member of the Nova Metis Heritage Association down in Surrey, one of the chartered communities in this province, and I remain actively involved. And of course I was involved with MNBC up until 2008 September, so 2.5 years ago, and I'm here today, as Renee says, and I thank him for saying that, we're doing this on our own. You know, it's not an election here today. We're here to present our case, and when you leave you can decide what you believe or don't believe, and that's your choice. What we can tell you is, if our arguments are correct, you know, we will all have to think about what the future, it will come to a head at some point. So we're here to present our facts and information. On the tables in front of you, you will see a document that's called the Blueprint, and it's a document that we had released, and we haven't, this was released, it says in October 2010, and the presentation just gives you a high-level overview of the Blueprint. So it's, we obviously aren't going to go through this line by line, but when you leave here, if you can't quite understand the pieces, this is really extracted out of this document. What the purpose of these sessions were, and we'll talk a bit about the presentation, was to just give people an actual copy and have a discussion with people. We believe that there's a number of recommendations that need to be made to help repair our nation, and that's what we're doing. We've taken a tremendous amount of criticisms from those that don't like what we're saying about we're destroying the nation. I continue to tell everyone that nothing could be further from the truth. In fact, what we're trying to do is make sure the nation survives. We're not a legal entity, we're not a corporation, we're not trying to take over, we're not trying to have people sign charters with the Coalition of Concerned Métis Citizens, but we have serious concerns. The coalition itself, if they don't know, it's over 200 members now across this province, that people that have gone to our website and signed up, and I'll show you the website when we're done. And we just, it's not about, we like to think it's our constitutional right to assemble and to have an open dialogue, and that's why we've arranged these sessions. We feel that it's important that if we're going to be critical of the nation, that we provide solutions. So that's what we're doing. We're presenting this document about our issues, and we presented January 22nd, a debt recovery plan. We're going to talk a bit about that today, and what I will say to everyone is that after this final session, we're already working on what we heard in the last regional sessions, plus what we might hear today. We have already drafted an action plan behind this document, with 8 key recommendations and 26 action items minimally. And we have got that from the grassroots. We believe that the grassroots people really don't know. We go to many regions where people don't even understand, or even though we bought a school, we have all these things that we're going to outline that is got to be something that's talked about for the future. So with that, Daryl, if you want to introduce yourself.
Okay, my name is Daryl Piper. I was born in Winnipeg, Manitoba. Actually, I grew up in the suburb of St. Vital, Manitoba, actually. I am the Vice President of the Vancouver Métis Cultural Society, which is one of our chartered communities. And I'd like to thank Renee for having us here today. I'd like to thank Beverly for providing the culture. And I'd like to thank all of you for coming here, because that's what I'm here.
Sessions. We have members, so we send a note to membership. And people are watching. It's 117,619. And whether people want to support it or not, I would. That's in 12 months. So people are looking, and a lot. In fact, it's going up until about 10,000 a month right now. So people are looking, and this is the way we try and communicate at least the most relevant documents we can out to the folks, and people can judge for themselves. Finally, the debt recovery plan, and I'm just I hope I can we get that light, Daryl?
What did you think? You've seen it in detail now.
Well, I sort of had a good idea of what was going on. It's just been reiterated for me. I think the people in the room have had their eyes open and they're going to be going home and asking a lot of questions. I certainly hope they're asking them of their community leaders, and I hope the community leaders take this to the MNGA. That's the place it's going to now. At this point, I can't see what's going to happen to MNBC that's going to be positive. They're running the whole organization into the ground irresponsibly. But we do have an opportunity to jump into a lifeboat, I guess, with the CCMC and work towards a recovery plan and getting our nation back on track, getting our people talking, getting them coming out to cultural events. That's the most important thing. We need our future. We need our children and our elders involved. And that's something that the MNBC is solid for.
So what did you think of what you saw?
I came in late. I think he's an eloquent speaker. I have to admit, I'm non-Metis, so I'm not going to make any comment. I think it's good that people are coming out, listening and learning intentionally and being polite to one another. That doesn't happen at all meetings.
A bit of a shocker?
Not really. Not really.
You kind of knew it all along.
It's, you have a lot of people that have no financial background, and the ones that have are, kind of sticks to their hands. The whole thing is just bad. You could, I don't know, if it was a public company, somebody would be in jail. I mean, all it will be is the money will slowly dry up. That's just the only way it can be. And they may be able to pull it out of the fire by getting a new group, but it's just rotten.
Thank you.
It's been very informative. It will be interesting to see the interpretations of the projections, and I look forward to the rest of the presentation.
Thank you.
Would you like it?
How about a comment that describes your feelings about what you've just heard?
I'm absolutely shocked. I'm absolutely shocked that they're so overloaded with debt. You know?
And nothing's been done.
Yeah.
They don't want to admit it.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, you heard it. It's black and white. It's their numbers. What are your thoughts?
Same thing.
Surprised it's gone on this long.
You're saying?
Surprised it's gone on this long without anybody doing anything, or it's like it's getting swept under the carpet and things are just moving along like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
they need to get paid, so a couple more years and then...
They're there at the trough. Yeah. People are there for themselves. They're at the trough, and they're not looking about the nation, where they're there of what can you do for the nation, not what can the nation do for you.
Thank you very much. What did you think of what you've heard so far today?
It's good. It's we're learning a little bit.
What are your feelings about that kind of debt?
Well, actually, right. It's a big debt if it's accurate.
Stay with us. What are your feelings about the numbers as they came out? What do you think?
Quite disappointed in our leadership. I hate to say it. I mean, we're all one nation, but our leaders just aren't showing good leadership, I don't think. And I've known this has been going on for quite a while, so it's just a matter of getting concrete proof of it. So that's about all I have to say.
And those are good thoughts. Thank you. I mean, you know this stuff inside out. What do you say?
Well, not really, but it sure was nice to have it explained once again, because we're definitely not accountant, but the blueprint and recovery plan makes sense. And I hope, you know, MNBC takes point at it, that, to review it at least, and see if we could make it work.
Do you feel at this point, having seen the seriousness, that you would like to be reinstated so you could do something?
Well, my heart is with the Métis Nation, and if there was ever a chance to be able to go back and work, definitely I would.
And they could use you?
Well, I hope I could contribute a little bit and make a small difference. So, no, I would go back.
Your thoughts on what you heard today?
I thought they were well researched, well planned, and if the MNBC listened to the plan, we have a chance of recovering. I can't say here nor there if it's going to be a full recovery because we don't know the true numbers yet. Would you say that you had one or two big concerns above all? Absolutely. My big concern is that we're going to be responsible for debt that we have no asset for if the bank does seize it, or if we actually sell it and have a loss, and that our kids are going to be paying for that debt for the next 20 years. Are you going to let your voice be heard? Absolutely.
Gentlemen, we've been snowed in for so many days, I think we need to get an apartment. Renee?
We were very pleased to have you guys.
Very, very successful, and we've done all we can.
Well, this brings us to an end of the regional sessions, and the coalition has shown, I think, everyone in the province, the leadership, if they've chosen to attend, the citizens, that our mission was simple, to help people understand the 6 issues and to show that all we were asking for all along was for MNBC leadership to be accountable and transparent to the citizens. There's nothing more we can really do. We've really put it out there. We'll be releasing the final version of the blueprint document, a debt recovery plan. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm really proud of all of us. I thank Daryl, I thank Renee, so many other CCM supporters across this province. And you know, it's sort of a bittersweet ending to what we're trying to do. And at the end of the day, for me, this was an important journey. I mean, it was something about letting people know that as Métis citizens, we just really care. And what the leadership does with it now, they've got to pick up the ball and run with it. And you know, it's kind of weird we're ending it here with a snowstorm, and people may not realize we've been stuck here now, and we'll probably be stuck for another night. And you know, but that's okay. It's been all part of the journey, and I think it's been one of the most fantastic things I've ever been part of, and I'm just so proud of all of us for what we've done. We've stuck by our values. We've kept true to our word. We've really tried to engage respectful and I guess safe dialogue for citizens. And hey, 300 people showed up at all these sessions altogether. So we were very, very, I think, we set out simple objectives and we reached them. And I think it's a sign of what we've done today. So
in closing, you have the most curious headline of all of the media releases that have come from you and from Daryl as spokespeople. We have seen, how does it go again, Keith?
Well,
we have seen the enemy, and it is. Explain that.
Well, it's tongue-in-cheek a little bit, but we have seen the enemy, and it is us. If our nation doesn't realize that we can't fix our own problems, then what are we all doing here? At the end of the day, we as the nation and our people, those elected leaders now have to take this on, and they got to realize you can't just go to meetings, get a BlackBerry and think you're part of something special without being responsible. And I think it is about our responsibility now. It's up to them.
Okay, well, I think you've carried the ball to the 50-yard line in Super Bowl parlance. Now you need some linebackers to carry it the next 50 yards. Thank you so much for a wonderful journey over 7 regions. You're courageous and you're good men, and I know that the nation will thank you. If not soon, then sooner. Good night.